This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Zinger light, model 252BH. This is not a floor plan video, it's a how-to. So I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? First of all, you got power stabilizers, front and rear. One switch controls both rear, and the switch up front controls both front. Okay. Let me look up here for a second. So this crank here, if you can see, has a slot cut in it, right? So the thing is, these could be cranked manually in an emergency. So you can see it's got that cylinder, or excuse me, that shaft with a pin through it. You can always get them cranked down in an emergency. It can be a little, maybe use a little ingenuity, but you can always get out of trouble. Now this one here is a smaller crank, and that's for the power tongue jack. So if the power tongue jack happens to fail, you can pull this plug out of the top here, and you can crank it manually to get yourself hitched and unhitched in an emergency, okay? So you also have power awning with LED strip. You have TV signal out plus power, okay? This is just storage here. Outside speakers, of course. There's your front stabilizer switch. You have two LP tanks full with an automatic changeover regulator. Of course, you got your power tongue jack, a deep cycle marine battery, and this is the kill switch for the battery. You can actually shut it off if you want to, so you can always shut your battery off without removing it. And of course, your pass-through storage. This is the furnace vent here. This is your 30-foot, 30-amp power cord. And we give you a reducer to reduce it down to a 20 also, so you can plug it in at home. Also, this is the vent for the range hood. So there are two little tabs there, and there's a baffle. If you're venting to the outside using the range hood, you always want to open the baffle so it flaps freely, okay? Outside shower. This is your city water hookup right here. That's the most common way to get water into the trailer. The second most common would be the fresh water tank fill. So if you're camping someplace without city water, you can fill your fresh water tank and use the onboard pump to pump the water. I'll show you where the switch for the pump is when we get inside. Alright, these are your dump valves here. Okay, black and gray. Black is toilet water and waste, gray is sink and shower water. Now, this is a black tank flush right here. So after you dump your black tank, you can leave the valve open, like it says on the sticker. Make sure you leave the valve open. You can put the hose at the dump station on here, turn it on. It'll spray out the inside of your black tank and clean it out really well. Clean off the sensors. Of course, that's an outside shower right there. You have this housing tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so if you wanted to add a Furon backup camera, it would go right there. Also, while we're looking up, make sure you inspect your roof every 90 days or so to make sure everything is in good shape up there. Make sure there's no damage to any of the roofing materials or roofing attachments by, let's say, low branches or road debris flying up there. Make sure all the sealant's in good shape, no cracking or separation where water can get through. That should be part of your regular maintenance. This is, of course, your water heater here. So I'll show you the switches when we get inside. This is the drain right here, if you can see it, the cap. Never run the water heater without water in the tank. That's very important, obviously. Right now there's water in there because it's the camper's been summerized. It's ready to go. But if you're just starting out a season after winterizing the trailer and then de-winterizing it in the spring, you always want to remember to fill up the fresh water tank and put the valves in the correct position. before you turn it on, okay? Alrighty. So let's go inside. Okay. So this is your control panel here. This is the water pump switch right here, right? If you need to pump water out of the fresh water tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer when it comes to pumping antifreeze through. To do that, I just generally give you a general idea. This bottom drawer slides out and the water pump is there. In order to remove the drawer, there's these black plastic tabs there. You push this one down and pull this one up and the drawer will slide right out. And then you have a take-up hose for the antifreeze there, your water pump is there, so that's where you would draw the antifreeze into the system. Okay, water heater lighted on gas, turn on the electric. You have two light switches here. This is your awning, power awning switch, so if you want to extend it, you can see it goes like so. Very simple. You want to check your levels here. Battery charged, fresh water, gray, so you can get a reading right there for all your tanks and your battery. This couch jackknifes flat, so you can turn it into a bed. You could drop the poles and set the tabletop onto these cleats here, the one on each side, and you can turn this into a bed. This is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector right here. It should always be green like it is. If it's not glowing green, get it serviced. It's very important, of course. This device here is your power converter. So this, when you're plugged in, it converts AC to DC power. So on this side you got regular 110 AC circuit breakers and they're labeled. So when you're plugged in, you got AC power right there. That's like the distribution panel there. And then on this side it converts the AC to 12 volt DC, right? So you got 12 volt fuses here and they're all labeled, right? Also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery up front needs and has, and it'll if your battery's totally charged up front, for example, it'll just trickle a couple amps to maintain it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs up there to charge your battery. That's as long as you're plugged in, of course. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's charge line will be charging the battery. Alrighty, all your literature is in this bag here. Your keys are hanging right here. Your microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood. Remember I told you about the baffle on the outside, so if you're running the fan, you want to open that baffle on the outside. It's got a light here also. When it comes to your range, I don't know if he's got the gas turned on or not. Let's see here. You'll just, basically you got three knobs here. These are the three burners. Then this is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark it. And this is the oven knob. So let's see what we got here. Now because these tanks were hooked up and then or disconnected and rehooked up, there's air in the line. So I'll just show you. We'll work our way past that. And there we go. So now from now on, when you light it, whoops, let me do it this way, I'm sorry. When you light it, it'll light the first spark. But anytime you remove the tanks or to fill them or whatever, there's going to be air in the line, so it takes a little bit to work its way through. Okay. The oven, all the way at the bottom at the back, there's a pilot light. I can spark it, and you can maybe see it sparking back there. The bottom line is you're going to go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, you depress it, you keep it depressed while you're lighting it. You spark it till you light the pilot light down here. Once you see it light, you're still holding this in. Hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature, of course. The thing is, when you shut it off, the pilot light goes out. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this closed in the down position. Okay. Your refrigerator is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. So right now it's on. You have to hold the button for a few seconds to get it to react. It's not just a quick poke. You got to hold it. Then you got increase and decrease your temperature. And then you have 3 modes: normal mode, and then you have 2. You have a energy saving mode. So you can save energy at night, for example, by switching it that way. It's a nice big refrigerator and freezer. Okay, this is your thermostat for your furnace. To set the temperature, you do it down here, slide it back and forth. To start it, you use this tab here. It's kind of hard to click it to the left, but you just hold it and give it a click like that. I don't know if you heard it, but the furnace lights, and it lights automatically. You don't have to light anything. You just turn it on and it starts. It makes 3 attempts to light, and it always lights within those 3 attempts. If for some reason it doesn't, you could just try to kill that mosquito there. You could just shut it off and turn it back on again. It'll go through the 3 cycles again. So shut it off like that. Whenever you shut it off, you want it to click to the right. You want to hear that clicking sound. Okay. Now down here, we left the panel off so you can see it, but you can see there's the back of the water here and the bypass valves. Right now it's in camping mode, right? So keep that in mind. It's ready to go, but that's where how you access the back of your water heater. Okay, your TV hookups are here, obviously, and there's a backer plate for a TV bracket if you want to put one there. You have a sound bar here. It has FM radio. You have a USB port so you could put all your favorite albums on a USB drive and take them with you, for example. You have Bluetooth so you can stream wirelessly from your phone to your tablet. And I think I mentioned FM radio. No AM, I don't know why, but no AM. So that's there, and the remote should be in here. Let me look to make sure. Take a quick peek here. If not, we'll make sure it's in there. Yeah, either way, it's going to be in here, and if not, I'll look and make sure. I can't do it one-handed here, so I'm not that coordinated. Of course, your bunks. The bathroom. Sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. This is telling us that this is pre-wired for a public Wi-Fi signal booster and 4G. So basically there's a port like this on the roof too. So if you were to scan that code, it will take you to the web page. It'll tell you what your options are, because this is just pre-wired. If you're interested, the most common thing people get is the Wi-Fi, the public Wi-Fi signal booster, which consists of an antenna on the roof and a box that goes right here, which is your router. And then your family would attach, they put the password in the phone for this router here, and then you would, in a browser, you would go to the web page, to the address, and you would log your booster onto the public Wi-Fi that way. So you only have to connect one device. It's a really good signal booster. You get better public Wi-Fi. But you also could get a 4G option, but you would have to, you know, thered be a monthly fee for that, obviously. Once you put the device in, the public Wi-Fi is free, so that's what most people would use. All right, you have a fan. The toilet is an RV toilet. You have the flush pedal right here. So you can't use it without water in it. So when you get to the campground, you're going to hook up your let me go over here and turn on the water pump here. There's some water in the freshwater tanks, so we can demo it to you, but we'll do it this way. Now, of course, if you're hooked up to city water, you don't have to worry about the water pump. We're not hooked up right now. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, obviously. Then you'll come in here, you'll put 1 dose of chemical into the bowl, and then you'll step on the pedal, and that was the last of the antifreeze right there. And you'll just put about a gallon of water or so into the black tank below. The black tank, this sits right over the black tank, right? So chemical and about a gallon of water, then you're ready to use it. If you use it dry, it'll get clogged up and the smell will be super bad. So if you do it, you only do it once anyway. You always want to remember, when you're starting off with a dry black tank, you want chemical and at least a gallon of water in there before you start off. Okay? That's pretty much the same for all RV toilets. All right, let me shut the light off here. Okay, so I think I've covered. Let's go up front here. Obviously you have shades. Now these shades, just so you know, They will loosen up over time. Some of them will, meaning they won't stay up. They'll just plop down. If that ever happens, you don't have to, you're out west somewhere, let's say. You don't have to go to a dealer. Basically, all you do is shorten this string, either one of them. Maybe a ½ inch or so, or less, but you don't want to overdo it or it'll break. But you just tighten it up. The more you tighten this string to the spool, the tighter this gets. So you just adjust it. If it's too tight, you can loosen it up. Over here, of course, is your escape window, which works like this. You grab a hold of the red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape during an emergency. This is a GFCI plug. All the plugs in the trailer, including the one on the outside, are wired through this GFCI. So if you're using something outside and it pops, you're going to reset it right here. Okay? TV, you can put a swing out bracket. There's a backing plate here. You can put a swing out bracket so it'll swing towards the bed so you can watch it from laying in bed. This green LED should always be on. You can shut it off this way, whoops, or this way, right? Actually, there's two of them, one on each side. So the thing is, you want that to be on because it's the signal booster for the digital antenna. So if you don't have that on, you won't get a good picture, is what it comes down to. So if you're getting a lousy picture, make sure you check that. Make sure you have it in the on position. Okay. Alrighty, and there's storage underneath the bed, of course. Okay, let me look around a bit. Like I said, this jackknife's flat. You just grab it at the bottom and flatten it out. Okay. Alright, I think that does it. So, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 60 to 90 days. That's what your manufacturer recommends. It should be part of your regular maintenance. Just give it a look over and make sure everything's in good shape. You're just protecting your investment, staying ahead of things. Also, right now, this trailer it's in camping mode. So the antifreeze has been purged from the system, replaced with fresh water, and the water heater is in camping mode and it has water in it right now. Okay? Never use the water heater without water in it. Okay? Thank you.